Hello pranksters, Christian the Haver Card Man coming back at you with another combo tutorial today. And before we get into this one, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you guys can get future content like this, as well as deck profiles, deck reviews, and a whole bunch of other Yu-Gi-Oh content. I have some ideas coming up, so please stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to get involved in a project on my channel, be sure to go hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or wherever you can find me, the Coalition Discord. Just hit me up wherever and I'll get you some details if you want to join in and help out. It is Yu-Gi-Oh related, so just hit me up and let me know. Anyways, today we're going to be covering my Adamancilith combo tutorial. If you guys haven't seen the deck profile, it will be in the top right corner up here in the card. Sorry, I had to figure out where I was. So go check that out first before you watch this video so you know what cards are in the deck and actually what's going on here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some test hands. So I'm just going to shove the extra deck down here. This might be a little tight on space because I'm using a pretty close-up lens. So I'm just shuffling the deck right now. I'll show you really quick just so you can see that I'm not lying. All right, make sure it's shuffled up pretty good here because I just had it all kind of set aside and ready for a deck profile, so it might be a little bit different. All right, so we'll do a couple of test hands first, and then I will do one combo tutorial for you guys just because I want to show you how consistent it is. And that's the nice thing about this deck is like it's super flexible. So really, with most hands, you can make a lot of plays, and your plays will vary depending on what you draw and what you excavate with your cards. So let's go ahead and draw our top five here. We'll say this is going first. So Megalith Full, Kawakimeru Guardian, Kawakimeru Supplier, Kawakimeru Guardian, and the Earth Hexial Fusion. So okay, this is a bad hand. This is a really, really bad hand. This is not combo at all. I don't think I shuffled very well because there's a Sarvis. So let me shuffle up again, make sure it's actually like power shuffled, and I will be right back with you guys to make sure that we got a good combo board here. All right, so just to show you guys again that I'm shuffling, I'm done with the actual power shuffling, but just so you know that I didn't stack the deck. And I'm really sorry about that. Usually this deck is like actually really consistent, but not so much when you sort the cards out and then do like a couple of really crappy shuffles. Like that doesn't really affect the deck. That really affects the consistency. So, all right, let's draw our top five here. So we got Megalith Aratron, Adamancilith Researcher, so we pretty much got full combo. Doki Doki, definitely 100% Adamancipator Friends, so we have extension at the end of our combo, and then another Megalith Aratron. So this is actually really good here. We have the means to do a lot of stuff with this, and I think what we're actually going to do here is we're probably going to normal summon the Doki Doki. Pray that this doesn't get ashed because we're going to activate its effect to discard our Adamancipator Researcher, to then special summon our Seeker from deck because we can always find a way to bring back our Researcher later. And yes, I'm going to shuffle the deck again just because of the excavating effect. Otherwise, I wouldn't really bother about it because we are going to be going into the deck quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm just going to do that. So now we'll go ahead and use the Seeker's effect here to excavate the top five. Let me just organize my hand here a little bit. So excavating the top five, Megalith Full, Hagith, Raptite, so we already got combo, or at least extension there. And then we got, okay, so basically the only target we can special summon here is the Raptite, which is totally fine. And that actually means that now we can use Raptite since it was special summoned here. Let me double check its effect. So it's just one rock card. So if you watch my deck profile, I said it was an Adamancipator monster, but it's just a rock monster. So I'm going to choose to put the Researcher back on top of the deck, because now what we can do is use our Seeker and our Raptite together to be able to synchro into our Raptite. So now we can use Raptite's effect to excavate top five. Obviously, it doesn't matter. We already know what we're going for. But there is five. So we hit the Analyzer, the Researcher, Megalith Unformed, and Megalith Aratron, and the Kawakimeru Guardian. I think I might actually go for Analyzer on this one because we can bring Seeker out through Needle Fiber. So we're going to pull out the Analyzer here, because we also have multiple copies of Researcher in the deck, so it's a lot easier to get to him with other stuff, which we can do here in a second. So we'll do top five again with Analyzer. So Kawakimeru Guardian, Earth Hexial Fusion, Dragite, Kawakimeru Supplier, and Adamancipator Seekers. So we have four different targets that we can choose from here. Obviously, we can't do the Seeker, but we can do the Earth Hexial Fusion, Dragite, Guardian, or Supplier, and that's actually a really tough one because if we do the Earth Hexial Fusion, we do have the means to go into our Barkion, into exterior plays, but then our combo just kind of dies there. I mean, if we end up drawing two Megalith cards, we could definitely make it work. So we might actually go this way because Megalith does have some good disruption in itself too. So I think we might actually pull out that Earth Hexial Fusion. Now, just because I'm curious, the other target I would have gone for was honestly the Dragite. So just because I'm curious, what would we have pulled out of that here? So we would have drawn a full. So we had combo anyways, but we obviously didn't know that, so we can't really do that. But we'll go ahead and synchro our analyzer and Doki Doki because we'll play with what we know we have. And the Naturia Exterior is honestly like surprisingly deadly. So we're linking off here into our Barkion. Now at this point, if they try to imperm us on the Earth Hex Sealed Fusion, we can at least protect it with the Barkion. But if they effect Vader us, we're a little bit out of luck. So we'll go ahead and use the Earth Hex Sealed Fusion's effect, be able to tribute both of these guys to Fusion Summon our Naturia Exterior, and we can put it in attack or we can leave it in defense mode. It really doesn't matter. We just got to make sure that we have this guy out before we go into the Adamancipator Friends because we will get locked into Earth. So let's go ahead and do Adamancipator Friends. And we have 1 rock on field, so we can excavate 6 cards because it's 5 plus however many rock monsters are on field. So we'll excavate all this. So there's 4, 5, and 6. So we can add 1 rock monster from this to our hand whose level is equal to or less than the number of excavated cards. So we got, I think we're going to go for the Ophiel, actually, because we want as many Megalith names engraved as we can get. So the rest of the excavated cards go on bottom. Doesn't matter what order, really, it just doesn't. So now we have the Aratron, Ophiel, and, well, another Aratron in hand. So we'll discard the first Aratron to use the other one as tribute material for our Ophiel. Ophiel will special summon, trigger effect. He will now be able to search us out. The full that we just put on bottom of deck. Actually, no, we're not going to go full. We are going to go first into Haggith, because Haggith we definitely need first. Because he's what gets us another name in the graveyard. That's why I love using Haggith so much. Because now, at this point, we're going to be going to the deck quite a bit and not excavating, so I'm just not going to worry about shuffling it anymore. So we have Haggith in hand, so we can use Ophiel's effect on field, being able to tribute himself to special summon the Haggith. Haggith effect will now search us the Megalith Unformed. Right there, which we can then immediately use the Megalith Unformed, tributing our Haggith, because the Megalith monster we summon from the deck, we have to tribute monsters on field or in hand equal to exactly double the level of the monster we're trying to summon. So Haggith is level 4, which means we can add full. And what I like to do here, since we already have the level 8 in graveyard, we'll trigger Full's effect to be able to add the level 8 back to our hand and make full a level 8 monster. So we'll add our Aratron back in this case. It could either be a Phalag or a Bethor, it doesn't matter. So what's hilarious here is now you can use the full. Since he doesn't have to tribute himself for a ritual summon, you can tribute the Aratron in hand to be able to special summon from your deck. If you're going first, you're probably going to be going for the Phalag because it gets you some beefy attack points. So if you wanted to, you could leave the Exterior in attack position because obviously you can just negate a Lightning Storm or evenly match, whatever. As long as it's not Dark Ruler no more Forbidden Droplets, you can negate it. So Megalith Phalag, you have a minimum of 3 ritual names in your graveyard, which is the really awesome thing. And then during your opponent's turn, actually, if you wanted to, say like they can't go to their battle phase, and just because like they can't attack over your stuff, they try to go end phase. You can use your full to tribute your Phalag. Sorry if I'm bumping the mic here. I'm still working on the new setup, so I'm not used to it yet. So you can tribute the Phalag and then be able to special summon a Bethor during their turn. I'm sorry if you can't see it here. It's this board's just kind of eh. So then when Bethor is summoned, he can bounce cards on your opponent's field up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard. I think it might specifically be Megalith, but let me double check. So, no, just number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard. So if you wanted to, you could play the Cyber Angel Ben 10 in this deck to use as ritual material. It actually would be really hilarious if you did. But, so Bethor, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 targets minimum, so that you could bounce up to 4 cards on your opponent's field back to their hand. I think it might specifically be monsters. No, just cards your opponent controls. So, okay, no, it destroys them. I'm sorry, it doesn't bounce them. It does destroy them. But to be fair though, like being able to pop 4 cards off of just one guy, so they use special summon from the extra deck is absolutely insane, and that's why I love the Megalith combo, because you can do all this crazy stuff with Adamancipator. Like this is a really mild board in terms of this deck, with the Raptite and the Exterior, because normally I'd be able to end on, like I could get to Calamities. I could have gone all the way to Calamities if I really wanted to, but that would have taken up a lot of time. So I think the Exterior Raptite's pretty good, because since you have Raptite's target in the graveyard, you can also use him as disruption as well to be able to banish a card on your opponent's field, which is hilarious. You have 2 forms of disruption from these guys, and then full being able to special summon your Bethor. So like if there's a crucial point where you need to pop monsters on your opponent's field, like they special summon a key piece, that you need to get rid of before it does anything. You can use full to special summon out the Bethor. You really want to keep full on the field for as many turns as you can, because you can just keep tributing off your big Megalith monsters, special summon whatever you want from the deck, and keep getting more names in graveyard and be able to do more crazy stuff. So I really think that this deck has a lot of potential. You guys should definitely do some testing out with it. If you find any ratios or spicy text that you want, or that you figured out, let me know down in the comments. I'm really excited to see what you guys can come up with. I think this is a really fun deck. I've been working on this for a couple weeks now, and I've really been enjoying it. So please let me know what you guys think of the deck down in the comments. I really appreciate your feedback, and I love each and every single one of you guys. You've really been killing it with making this channel grow, and I love you guys so much for it. Let's keep that going. So please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you guys can get more content like this in the future. I really appreciate all of you. Please stay awesome. Remember to have fun and make your move, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace out.
I'm a love giver.